Hello and welcome, folks. Today we're going to be taking a look at something that's new in the Japanese version of Zero. And so we had a big update, of course, for the new stuff. Of course, the new decks that came out, like Bladewing Reiji and Lukier. We successfully managed to get ourselves 4 Lukiers. I mean, 3 I crafted, and then 1 we managed to pull, thank God, but here she is. But yes, here are the high YouTubes. Twitch has been pretty buggy today, so the stream chat might randomly just die. But yeah, so we're going to be taking a look at this new system that they added, which is only valid for 1 week right now, which is more or less tying in with Golden Week. And so this is going to be basically the rental system that they added. Alright, so as you'll notice, some of these deck lists here have these little paws next to them. So basically, what these paws signify is that these are rental decks. And so what rental decks are is that if you have some cards that you want to build, or like play in a deck, but you don't have like full playsets, or you're missing 1 or 2 triples, you can basically rent them and you pay a certain amount of your common crafting currency every time you fight. So you pay a deposit for entering the fight with that rental deck, and then if you win, you pay the remainder of it, and if you lose, you don't pay anything. So for example, let me show you my Spectral Duke deck here. So Spectral Duke, I have everything except for 1 Spectral Duke, and now every single like common, rare, and triple rare costs different things. So here, playing 1 triple rare basically costs 4,800 for the first one, and then basically if I put in another triple rare, I think it will cost me like only an increment of 1,200 if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, actually it's for each first one I think, and then the increments cost 1,200. So each time you put in a card for the first time, it costs 4,800, and then like for triple rare. So that's like, so the cost here is 4,800. So basically says you build your deck, and using the common crafting currency that you have a lot of, like I have like 140,000, so it's quite a lot, you get these temporary cards, and then you can use them in the fights. So it's a pretty good system. However, of course, it does cost quite a bit of crafting currency. So let me show you, for example, if we build a new deck here, and let's go to, let's see, what do I have not very much of that I would like to have? I guess we can go to, even Nova Grappler, right? Let's go to Nova Grappler. And so here, we're going to see some cards that I don't have. And so for example, like let's say I want 4 of this card, right? So I have 3, and I want to put in 1 more. So the first double rare cost me 1,600. And then for example, I have some double rares that I only have like 1 of. So for example, like this one, the Black Tortoise. So here, putting in the first double rare copy of it will cost me 800. And then the next one 400, and the next one 200. You see? Oh no, 400, sorry. It costs 400 with each increment. But then if I want to put in like another new double rare, it immediately charges me that 800 for that first cost. So it looks like it's 800 and then scales down to 400 for doubles. And then for triples, it's a lot more, of course, with the scaling. So we can take a look here, for example, with this Cosmo Lord. So Cosmo Lord, first one 2,400, second one 3,600. So here you can see it goes up like that. And I'm not sure if it's the same. So for example, here if I go to the brand new Death Army Cosmo Lord, it's over here. So we have 1. And the first one costs 2,400, and then 3,600. So as you can see, it's just different costs for these cards. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm just checking if it doesn't cost different things. No, it's 2,400 for the first triple rare, basically. So yeah, so that's kind of like the raw cost it seems to be. Alright, so then other cards, it's going to be a little bit difficult to show it with commons and stuff because I have everything, but commons are very cheap, and rares are also quite cheap as well, but since I have playsets of basically every single common in the game, it's a little bit difficult to show, I think, and you can't do it with SPs either, so of course it's just, it's only with the, regular rarity cards that are not SP. So that kind of shows how it works. And so basically then you just need to kind of calculate for yourself, whether it's worth it, how much you can play with a certain rental deck before you run out of the common crafting currency, but of course you do have a lot of it. But for example, like for one of my decks, like the Shadow Paladin deck that I'm really missing a lot for, every single game I win, I need to pay 11,200 of my common crafting currency. So even though I have 140k, that's only going to get me about 13 games or so. So that's actually not very much. So basically, I need to be careful. It really is just there to try out the system, try out playing, and yeah, that's kind of the important thing to think about. So you need to really be careful with your crafting currency for some of these decks, and especially with ones where you're missing a lot of triple rares. Like for my Shadows, I'm missing 7 triples and then like 4 doubles on top of that. So it really is quite a fair bit. So that's that. So basically that's how the crafting, that's how the rental stuff works, and you can do it with any card in the game, and then you'll basically have this little paw on the card that you are renting. So here, for example, as well, like my Dark Irregulars, I can craft another triple soon, but of course I'll still be renting some triples here. So, you know, you need to keep in mind for that reason as well. So now, to see how it actually works, we're going to go into a game, and we're going to use my Spectral Duke. I actually do want to make one change to it. I want to take out my Din Drains because I was testing this and realized that Din Drain does not really do too much for the deck here. So we're instead going to play some self-damagers to get that nice limit break up early, if possible. So once again, with the Gold Paladin deck, our crafting, the cost for rental was 4,800, and so you're going to see when we go into a fight on ranked, it's going to ask us to pay that, first the the deposit, and then if we win, we pay the rest. So at least we can check how much the deposit scales, or if it's always just a permanent 1,200. So let's take a look here really quick. Alright, will you lose the rental cards? Yes, after a week they will be gone. So here you can see you can use rental cards in rank fights, you can use them in tournament mode, as well as in character fights, so that's really nice. Alright, so let's go to rank fights, and so here, if we're going to go select, first I'm going to just select shadows, so if I press fight, it will charge me, let's see, charge me 10,000 actually for the deposit, and then it will take the other 1,200 if I win. So it actually charges you the big bunch of the cost. So like what you can do is, of course, you can concede before winning. You know, if you don't care about winning and just want to test the deck, then you can do it like this. But in general, it is pretty expensive, so you can only get a few games with these decks that you really are missing a lot for. But for example, for, like I said, Spectral Duke that I'm mostly missing one card for, it's not that bad. So here, I'm going to pay that 1,200, you're going to see. So it cost me 1,200 of the common crafting currency just to play a game. And then I'm going to be able to essentially play, and then if I win, they'll charge me the rest, and then if I lose, they won't. So let's just play this out. So we're going to play out one game with Spectral Duke. Still testing the deck, so it's nothing, you know, this is still day one. Nothing very, you know, determined. Nothing particularly, you know, set in stone. So let's take a look. I forgot to put on sleeves on this deck. And this is a pretty good opening hand, actually. Actually, it's a perfect opening hand. I kind of want to keep everything. I'm going to keep everything. This is actually a perfect hand. I haven't seen a hand this good in a while. So now we're going to be playing against the new Dark Regulars with Reiji and the almighty Chariot that I'm sure everyone now loves. The Chariot is literally the symbol of the channel now. Alright. And he gets to put a Demon Bike into his deck. Very, very good. Alright, so we're going to go into our turn and ride Mr. Vortimer. I've always loved the Grade 1 Vortimer's art. Looks really, really good. Grade 0 Vortimer will find us. I will take the Grade 2. Better keep those Grade 3s in deck, after all. And then, of course, I think I want to go a bit more aggressive early. So I'll go like this. Of course, I could have actually called them differently, so this would be in a 16k column. Would have been better, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't get a trigger. But of course it does matter from a general standpoint. We get a crit. This deck does play 9 crit because I think it can get away with it because Spectral Duke's restand does not actually depend on a... doesn't depend on it hitting, so it just restands regardless. So it's pretty nice. Alright. So, now what's going to happen is when I ride my Grade 2, you're getting some Spectral Duke analysis. Oh man, it's your favorite card, chat. Almost. It's your second favorite card, chat. Alright. I'm going to swing, get nothing, so I'm going to take 1 damage. I'm going to be able to ride up. Ride up, ride up. The Lord and Savior shall come. Yes, next turn. Alright, ride the Grade 2 Vortimer. I'm going to sack this one. And we're going to get to call 2 cards. Ooh. 2 Grade 1s. Okay, I'll call the PG here and the self-damager here. See, calling the Din Drain off, that would be really hot. But sadly, we don't get it. Alright, but I'm gonna make use of this. He's on 3 damage. I'm gonna just push him to face. See how much we can get out of him. Get some mileage out of that face. I should have actually called the Gareth behind here. As you can see, I'm still getting used to these new decks. So now this last attack will not hit, but we have him on 5 damage. You know, that could have actually been a win already on turn 2. That'd be pretty sick. but still good, because now he has to take out my intercepts, and then I can sack that PG from behind and call 2 new cards when I ride Spectral Duke, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good, pretty good. So ride No Life King, be able to get that crit, it's pretty good. So he doesn't have Reiji right now, but I guess he needs to build up some soul actually to get that 15 soul for Reiji. Demon Chariot, everyone's favorite card. Look at it, add a draw trigger to deck. Beautiful. Chariot! Everyone's favorite. Everyone's favorite. Close game, 1-5. It was close, guys. It was close. Alright, he's gonna use the skill, I think. Oh, he's not. I thought he would want to, like, Turbo Soul Charge right now in order to, you know... But I guess he gets all the damage counter-blasted, so he wouldn't want to do that. But oh well. Whatever suits him. You get a defensive crit, that's okay. And here comes the Unlimited Chariot Works spam again. Alright. We get the Azel. We don't need the Azel right now. Let's ride the Spectral Duke. And then we can pop that Mark from the back and get 2 new cards. The Strength. Ooh, we get 2 rear guards. Unfortunately 2 triggers, but that's okay. That is okay. Doggos go Bork. Alright, let's just go in with the first rear guard Spectral Duke. And let's go in with our Vanguard Spectral Duke. Does he have a PG here? He does... maybe? He does not, so this might be game. Unless he heals, of course. Does he? Or are my dogs gonna surrender the show to me? I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, so now that we won, we are gonna be paying the remainder of that rental deck cost. So we're gonna see here. I think after we press OK. Oh, there we go. It says that now for the rental deck, because we won, we get charged the remaining 1,200. But actually, that's interesting because the rental deck screen showed me that it's 4,800 and I got charged 2,400. So I'm not sure, the numbers don't really add up right now. That's kind of a weird thing about it, but that is pretty nice. So I really like this rental deck function. You just need to really be careful with your resources because you don't want to lose all your common materials because you still need them to craft, you know, cards. And if you can't craft cards, you can't build decks, and then you can't play the game. So yeah. But let's take a look at it once again, because I want to check this crafting, like the cost of the rental, because that was pretty interesting. Because normally, if I look at it, the rental cost here is 4,800, right? But it charged me 1,200 when we got in, and then 1,200 when we won. So it looks like it only charged half. But then for the Shadow Paladin one, it wanted me to pay 10,000, and then I'm sure it would have still charged me up for the remainder of the actual cost. So maybe some cards are bugged with it, because it should actually not be this expensive, but yeah, as you can see, when you're missing like 1 or 2 triple rares, it's pretty generous, it's pretty chill. But yeah, so you can try this out. As you can see, I have quite a few decks built now that I can try out. Like for example, here with Battle Sisters, I'm missing a triple and 4 doubles, so I can like play Battle Sisters, and then I can show you some more. With Death Armies, you know, we're going to be trying it out. I can actually craft a couple triple rares, but you know, I have not yet. But basically, you know, you can also use rental to play all these interesting decks. So it's pretty good for that reason. And then of course, you know, here we have Chariot number 1, best card in the game. You know, also here I'm missing 3 triples, like Bladewing, Reiji, and stuff like that. And so it's pretty good. But then of course, if you have all the cards for a deck, then you can just play it right just like that without having to pay for it. But I think that for this week, if you're playing on JP server, for this week that is active, I think it's a good idea to try out a lot of these decks that you normally would not be able to, and basically get yourself an opportunity to try out decks you normally wouldn't, you know? So I think it's quite good for that reason. So yeah, I think that more or less wraps it up. It's a pretty simple system, and it's just the numbers don't really add up sometimes, but apart from that, it's pretty cool. So that's gonna do it for this video on the rental system in Vanguard Zero. I think it's a very cool addition, and this way you can try out a bunch of cool things with the deck. So yeah, I think that's going to be more or less it for this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.